Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
Quite a ball game on Saturday night. World Series Game 4 ended up at midnight, but this is how it ended.
Jansen. That is into center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Phillips has tied the game. Arose Arena coming around. Throw home. Now he stumbles. But the ball gets away. Tampa Bay wins it. Brett Phillips, Game 4 hero.
You got to say, Joe, that Joe Buck did a pretty good job of describing that chaos, wouldn't you?
I would. And did you see where this Brett Phillips had to be medicated?
Yeah, his heartbeat was 140 or something like that.
They had to throw towels over him and chill him down. He went nuts.
Yeah, but I had this thought. How would have that been described by these two guys?
Here's the pitch. Glaring in. Wide. Sorry, inside. There
Yeah,
you go. Inside
sure.
ball.
I think
Yeah.
he called it a strike.
Yeah, I
did?
guess so. Yeah.
You think?
What's he raising his hand for? It looked like a strike to me. Yeah.
1-1. This is not as easy as you think it is when you listen to Gordo all summer long.
Do you think there would have been a little
Wait, he dropped it. No, he didn't drop it. Yes, he did drop it.
when Rosioni or whatever his name was is laying 30 feet from home plate and is going to be out? We might have, somebody's laying on the ground.
I think he's safe.
I think the ball got away.
Every time I hear Buck say Aruzaroni, I always think of the 80 Olympic team, Mike.
Mike Aruzio.
Aruzzioni. I always think of him every
That's
time.
the closest you can come up with.
Who is this guy?
The Cardinals had him, and they had him hitting singles. You know, he was a big, strong guy, but he wasn't swinging from his rear end like he is now. These guys got him on a trade. They didn't have him on the roster till the end of August.
Really?
And then they called him up, and if you hit his bat, it'll go a long way, that's for sure. But it was a hell of a finish, but now the Dodgers, you know, I love the fact, how are the Dodgers ever going to recover from this game? It's baseball.
Yeah.
The next day, the Tampa pitcher goes out and throws up on himself in the first inning, and everything that happened last night means nothing, right? It's baseball. It's you know, it's the pitcher. The pitcher in the first inning decides whether there's any momentum or not. So, but I think
Kershaw
the
almost
Dodgers
gave back that lead to
he
Aruzzioni right
did.
away.
He's, you know, I saw something. The stats on him being a bad postseason pitcher were all based on his second start against the team. So there was supposedly some hope for the Rays last night. But anyway, the people are avoiding the World Series in record-breaking numbers, even with Los Angeles in it. So the game gets over at 10 instead of midnight or 1 on the East Coast. Their ratings are horrible. I think it's just kind of sports in general, but I don't know.
I wonder why. It's been a great series.
Yeah, I think length, though. I mean, Joe, 4 hours and 10 minutes the other night.
For a 9-inning game.
There was one Friday. There was a swift 308 or something, but everything else is damn near 4. And it's just too long. Baseball, of all the problems they've had, I've said it, length of game is it. Length of game is because it's, you know, in a football, there's enough running around after the dead periods, but in baseball, You can have a 20-minute half inning where very, very little happens because the pitcher's walking a couple of guys, and it's.
But I don't trust baseball to handle this correctly.
No,
I
don't either. They don't know
they'll
what to do.
screw it up somehow.
They don't know what to do about it.
Here's the other issue that I have, and I don't know if this is all because our guy did it with Barrios, but Kershaw has a 3-pitch, 2-out top of the 6th, and Roberts
hooks you.
yanks him.
Yeah, he's
why?
really got the quick hook. Well, he did the same thing with the lefty on Saturday night, Arios or whatever his name is. Yeah, he's Mr. Hook, that's for sure. And he ends up in a situation last night where he's got that kid lefty who, good stuff, but he could have blown up at any minute and started walking people. Yeah, I don't think he's a very clever user of his pitchers in the postseason.
Especially considering your bullpen blew it the night before against the Rays.
So did you watch Coach Flex boys make us all proud?
I did, Pat. I did. I did.
It was not much though. Not much of a contest. My dear friend Eric Curry has a 3-year-old son. Did you see this?
I think I read your tweet about
Brecken
it.
Harmon. And his mother, Kelly Roisland, is an assistant Gopher basketball coach. So they have a fairly strong Gopher connection. And apparently late in the first half, 3-year-old Brecken Harmon says to Dad, the blue guys are a lot better. The blue guys are a lot better.
That kid's name needs to be Foghorn, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's a good Finlander name.
Beckham?
Brecken, I guess. It's an old family name.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
No, they didn't just make it up. Because
he wouldn't have got through a baby walk.
Because the old
with that
man,
name.
Eric, fought for Harmon, I think, but he ended up getting that as a middle
What would
name.
hap-
He and Killebrew were tight.
What would happen if you two disagreed on approval or disapproval of a baby walk?
Never
name?
happened. We were
Really?
in constant agreement.
Okay.
Well, once in a while, we would try to talk the other guy down and say, nah, maybe not. But if someone was really strident about it, then we conceded. And we always erred on the side of that's a lousy name.
Yeah.
I think the only example of that was a guy named Wheeler. I think
That was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, we thought that was a hell of a name.
Yeah.
And I think Wheeler had a sister. I can't remember what was
Savannah.
it.
That was
Savannah,
approved. That was
perfect,
approved.
yes.
Unanimously
I think
approved.
with applause.
Oh,
with
yeah.
applause,
Yeah.
I think.
Give it up.
And that's the one shame of the State Fair not happening this year is we didn't get to have a baby walk.
Well, we haven't.
I
had
got
one
news
now.
for you, pal. They've been canceled for quite a while.
We 1 year though.
Jeez.
We 1 year had about 150.
Yep.
We had to go. We had to keep going when the show was over.
After the show,
Yeah.
I think
That
I
show
remember
ended.
that.
Yeah. The best though was when we'd have the prizes, right? And we'd have a nice stroller for the best name, and then we'd have this old one that was missing a tire and all this stuff. And no one ever took that one when we awarded them as the worst
That's
name.
okay.
No, but we'd have to round up this rotten old stroller that was falling down on 3 legs.
Did you happen to pay any attention to the golf tournament over the weekend?
I did not pay enough attention to it. I like that golf course, and I did watch the finish where, once again, our fellas are making golf courses absolutely obsolete. That the big finishing hole, I saw Thomas and John Rahm hit their tee balls, and they had about a half a pitching wedge into the green when they were done there.
Did you see who pulled up the rear? Mickelson and Woods.
Oh, really?
At the very bottom.
Yeah,
Very
well,
bottom.
Tiger had to play like hell on Friday to make the cut.
It was a cutless event.
Oh, was that it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
'Cause
got
he
so
shot-
curious about that, I had to Google it. And
He-
Zozo was no cut.
He shot so it was like a half a field then, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
And he shot 76-66, right? And then he
Yeah.
played lousy over the weekend again.
Now, second point of useless trivia, I heard this. That was the set, that Thousand Oaks, California, where this Sherwood
Yes.
Club is. That was the set for MASH, the TV show. So when you saw
Really?
those helicopters coming in, it was those mountains you saw during
Really?
the tournament where they were
Wow.
flying over. Yeah.
Well, and wasn't this the first place where we had the $10 million, the prime time Tiger playing 18 holes against somebody events. I think it was that golf course where they put the lights up. I think that's where they first played.
No, I thought that was in the desert. I thought that was one of the clubs in the Palm Springs area.
Shadow. What is this? Shadow. This is
Shadow Creek is Vegas.
What was the name of this place?
Sherwood.
Sherwood. Yeah, it was Sherwood. Well, one of those Tiger events was in Sherwood, I think. So.
Boy, he's not going to be a favorite for the Masters.
No, I wouldn't say so, but there's going to have to be a lot of choking. Brooks Koepka, by the way, warming up for the Masters, claims to have hit one that was measured at 403. Did you see that?
Wow.
He's been he's been trying to hit with the longest possible driver.
Yeah.
Because the one he hits now is like 44. He's trying to hit one with a 52, and he thinks he can hit it like 25 yards further than he was hitting it when he made the U.S. Open obsolete.
Well, what's the rule? How long can they be?
That's it. He's
52?
He's hit the max, yeah. I think 52 is what I read. I remember Bud Chapman, senior golf Bud, to maintain his distance. I think he got up to like 56, and then they made him illegal, so he had to shorten it up again. But to try to keep hitting it when he was in his 80s or late 70s, he was trying a long one, and they did put a limit on him. But they're going to have to do something here. They're going to have to break out the Cayman ball that Jack used to use at his short golf course down in the Cayman Islands or something.
DeChambeau did not compete in this event.
No.
If he used a 50, I wonder what his
What'd they say?
is.
Who'd they say was DeChambeau?
No, you said Koepka.
No,
you said Koepka.
I was wrong. DeChambeau.
Okay.
DeChambeau is the one that's trying to hit it for him.
All right.
And they had a little note on the crawl that he measured one at a little over 400.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
You don't even need that. You don't need fairways if everyone becomes DeChambeau.
Launch
you just
angle.
need a green way out there somewhere and let them hit to it.
Number 10, which has always been a great hole down there because you got to hit that drive down in that little valley, and it's one of the tighter fairways there.
You're talking Augusta here.
Augusta. He'll hit it on the green.
Yeah.
Going downhill.
Yeah, it's going
He'll
downhill.
hit it on the green. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Now, when is that? Is that the first week in November?
2 more weeks, right?
Yeah, it's in November. I don't know the dates.
I think it's the second week in November.
How's the weather going to be in that?
I don't know, but did you see it's like 50 in Dallas all of a sudden? Yeah. That's when they put the roof. They closed the roof because it was raining yesterday. It's going to rain all week, and I heard that it's going down to 50 degrees tonight or something down there. So.
Thursday, November 12th is the Masters start date.
3 weeks from now, then? Is it?
Thursday, November 12th through Sunday
What's
the 15th.
Today?
Today's the 26th.
Okay, so it's 3 weeks.
It's going to be 72 today in Augusta. The long range forecast, upper 60s, low 70s. And then it's only giving me up to the 4th.
Their golf course is actually reopens in October, I believe, right, Joe? They close it all summer. Mm-hmm. And it reopens in October, and then they play until, they throw them off the golf course a week or so before the Masters, and I don't think they open it again.
Why do they close it in the summer?
They don't want the heat. They don't want people
them,
out there in the heat, and, that used to be the case. I would guess it's.
I don't think any of the members are looking for a game in the summer. I think they have alternate clubs.
Yeah, right. They do. They can play in the New England area or someplace like that. So, yeah. But the other thing is, they got those hollows there. That low point of the golf course, Chris. When you're at the clubhouse and then you basically go down. What is it? 220
it's a long
feet
descent
or something.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little hot down there in those holes in the middle of the summer. Whoo! That 10, 11, Amen Corner down there, the romantic Amen Corner, you could drop dead trying to play down there. It would be so damn hot, I would think.
Who named it that? Herbert?
Herbert Warren Wind.
Herbert Warren Wind.
The golf writer for the New Yorker, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever the Times golf writer, but maybe he was, and then he went to the New Yorker. But he would, and he would basically, like 2 weeks after it was over, or 3 weeks after it was over, you'd get a New Yorker, and he'd have his eloquent play-by-play on the golf tournament that ended 3 weeks ago, and because it was the New Yorker, people would read it. Yeah. It was like Roger Angel would
Yep.
do his World Series piece in December or something.
Yeah,
And I was like, you got time to massage it when you got 2 months. It's a little different when you're 20 minutes past deadline. Let's see what you got then, Roger.
So you're saying it's a bit different than when I look forward to when the Gophers are getting demolished, looking at Royce's tweets live during the game.
I
Much
was
different.
pretty restrained. But you know what I got them all worked up about? These idiots. I just texted Phil Fleck is now 12-16 in Big Ten games.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
That they all went. Well, that's a fact.
Right.
What's the problem?
What is there to be angry about?
Because somehow this is someone went so far as I pointed out that Kamal Martin, the kid from Birdsville who played for the Gophers, had a good game. He'd been hurt, but the Green Bay broke him out. He started a linebacker, had 6 tackles, 1 for loss. They really like him a lot. I said, I put those stats in, and I said, the Packers. And they said, you're only saying that because he's a Clay's recruit, so you can. No. When we were doing Friday night radio shows from the Friday afternoon radio shows from high school football games, we went out to Birdsville. And he was the star over there, and I had him on the radio show, so I've taken an interest in him. It's not everything is a cheap shot at Fleck that I write about the Gophers. Only 80%.
When I saw the Big Ten record tweet, I almost retweeted and said, "But some of those losses were in year 0."
Yes,
but
that's
I thought,
true.
no, I better stay out of this one because Royce likes to stir up the Gophers well enough on his
I see
own.
Mrs. Fleck got a bit of ink this weekend. She's called the First Lady of Gopher football.
Oh, okay. All righty. That's good.
Hey, will you explain something to me about your paper?
She's not the first lady of Coach Fleck, but that's okay.
Yeah.
The other one, he dropped her.
I don't know anything about
for
that.
the new first lady.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you something about your
Yeah.
Sunday paper. What were those 2 sections about? Those 2 special sections about labor unrest or something? Did you know what I'm talking about?
I saw the Sid one. I don't know what the other one was.
Well, there were 2. There was the Sid special section and then 2 other special sections detailing, I think, work history in Minneapolis and strikes and riots.
Oh, really? Maybe we got some ads out of it. I don't know.
I don't know. There weren't any ads in it, I don't think.
I don't know what it was.
Well, you're no help then.
I saw the Sid thing, and then I wonder, because I generally took out the 5 sections and throw the rest of it stuffed inside. Were these stuffed inside?
No, it was part of the paper.
I know,
They were
but
huge, thick sections.
sometimes they put them inside the mailers. So.
No, they were not inside the mailers.
Okay, well, I didn't see it.
Only the comics wrap around the mailers.
Not always. Sometimes there's something hiding.
I'm a student of this.
Sometimes there's something hiding in there. Now there's
Well, you
not.
gotta look. You
The
gotta
mailers aren't as there aren't as many of them as there used to be. Obviously,
No,
there used
no.
to be a pretty good thing. But
Who do the Fighting Gophers have next? At Maryland?
at Maryland, and Maryland so impressive in their opener against Northwestern that the Gophers, after basically being Michigan's junior varsity, are 21-point favorites.
What?
On the road.
Wow.
21. Well, Maryland is horrible. This coach that they fired the guy Durkin because he was mean.
Oh,
right?
that's right. Yep.
Because the kid died, right? Was it
Oh,
a
the
kid?
offensive lineman. Yes, you're right.
And then they blamed him, and they fired him, and they hired this Loxley guy. And there's rumors they're going to fight. He coached last year; they were terrible, and there's rumors they're getting ready to fire him this year already in year 2.
Wow.
And it cost them a.
I was just going to say, do they have the money? Do they have the boosters to do it?
Not really. Nobody's got the money right now, but they're what was it? Fleck's first year they went down there, and they had all these great running backs and just ran for like 500 yards against the Gophers. And 2 years later, they're the worst team in the Big Ten, which is saying something.
You know, you mentioned that. I heard Coyle. They're running ads where they're begging for money now. The U of M.
Oh, really?
They were radio ads that I heard with Coyle.
And him, by the way, Coyle, remember when he promised us transparency on the COVID? That's kind of gone away as far as football is concerned, isn't it? While other teams around the country are announcing how many cases they have, these guys aren't even admitting that they had guys missing because of COVID.
Well, I wanted to tweet out, I still have 4 years of eligibility for football. I could punt. I could get one about 15, 20 yards.
You'd think that if you got 115 guys, that's how they basically got 115 guys over there. There'd be 2 punters, right?
You'd think.
You got one guy that's your punter, and then you got another guy that can kick it from, here to the parking lot. We're not that far away here, but apparently we don't have 2 punters. We just have one. I mean, and the second string punter doesn't have to be like a full-time punter, but he should be able to punt a little bit, right?
I think so.
Yeah, this guy couldn't have punted for some of these high school teams that don't punt, that they just go for it. But it's, you know what else I've noticed, Reavers?
What's that?
NFL, high schools, I went to a high school game. Minneapolis North has great talent. They got nobody who can catch a punt.
Really?
Yeah, at least not the guys they're using. And then I see a couple of games yesterday. They call a fair catch, and then they go running up, reaching like this, and give the ball. That's Penn State gave the ball to Indiana in that way. What happened to that? You got 115 guys. Get somebody who can catch a punt.
Yeah.
It's NFL. That's been going on too. Guys screwing up punts. It's let's be catching those punts.
And
Come on,
is there
fellas.
a new rule now in college football where you can fair catch the kickoff?
Yes, yeah, that came in a couple. That's part of the rule that they don't want kick returns.
Oh, they're trying to worry about injury and whatnot.
The whole thing about it. Yeah, so you can catch it at the 7. Fair catch the kick, and then nobody can
20?
come down and hit you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had great hopes for the Kansas City at Denver game to be even wilder than it was because it was snowing pretty good. Mm-hmm. Snowing real hard in Denver.
Probably kept Kansas City from really beating Denver.
Right.
Yeah. But there were some weird finishes yesterday. We had 2 of these, by the way, where the dummy runs in the end zone.
Yep.
When all they got to do is not run in the end zone.
Right.
The Penn State. But at least the Atlanta guy, Todd Gurley, was made aware that he shouldn't score a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And that one of the guys from Detroit sort of deked him into, he came over and like he was trying to tackle him, and Todd went to his instincts and ran into the end zone and stumbled in the end zone.
I love how the Detroit defensive player signaled, "Yep, he's in."
and then the Penn State game. They're on this James Franklin's their coach, right? Big enthused guy, good recruiter, complete moron on the sidelines, just an idiot. They're down there. They got first down on what? The 18 or something. They can kneel down 3 times and win the game. They hand off to a running back, and they give him. That's the Indiana doesn't. I mean, they open the whole. They don't try to fake this guy into this. Mm-hmm. I mean, your youngest grandchild could have told that they're trying to make me score a touchdown here. Meanwhile, Franklin's running down the sidelines when the guy's halfway to the end zone trying to get him to stop. Instead of nobody tells him in the huddle before the game, before the play, don't score a touchdown. Even better, kneel down.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they gave that game away to Indiana. He's just a complete dunce on the sidelines. They don't even let him wear a headset anymore. He just kind of runs around.
Take the headset away from him.
Because he's so stupid. And then he's, and then
they'll read everything you say. Don't put that thing up on the teleprompter.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Sid hysteria is over, although I guess Chad came back to work today, so he was doing one more thing on it. But I know one thing.
I want to hear it.
I'm out. My ammunition's gone. My quiver is empty.
I thought you were going to tell me if he knew he was going to get this much adulation.
Oh, yeah, I did say that, too. Yeah, he would have died earlier if he knew he was going to get this much adulation. Because let Joe and I tell you this. There's nobody who likes having it more than Sid did. He loves to be told how great he is. In fact, he realized that's also how it played with athletes to tell them how great they were. That's why he always wrote these little notes telling them how great they were after they were in his interview, or coaches or anything like that. So anyhow, yeah, it was quite a week. And
You had a comment, though, speaking of his first ever column that appeared in the paper yesterday.
Did you look at the Sid section?
I did.
The job review was the best part of it.
I
right?
thought it was wonderful. The kid can't write, but he's improving.
Yes. And you could have written that in 2018,
Absolutely.
just taking the kid part out. Nothing
Absolutely.
changed.
Absolutely.
But then they had his first column in there,
yeah.
and it was awful. You know, I mean, and I said on Twitter, I said, I
have it right here.
How great the review was. I said, yeah, what else I said?
He said, one thing that first Sid column in 1945 printed below review does do, fully explains why we had to hire me to write his autobiography 50 years later.
His writing did improve from that.
Yes.
Just from that. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But, man alive. Well, Jeff Day's been doing his stuff here now he tells him what he wants, but Jeff about 2 months ago had a column in there that was just filled with coherent sentences and stuff, and I said, you got to tone it down here. You can't be writing English after all these years.
Right.
Hey, I'm proud of the readers, though. I was really surprised. I did the Sid satire column on Thursday, and it was a bit over the top, but not ungodly over the top till the end. But virtually everybody got it, which in modern communications, when we got these two goofballs running for president, and it all seems like it's the Onion, right?
Right.
I was surprised how many people got it. Most of the reaction I got was people figured it out. So I was happy about that. But anyhow, that's over with. Let's get on to the next thing.
Well, he had a great run of adulation.
Oh God, he
for a
did.
week.
It was unbelievable. Yep. It was astounding, and I do need, having written. Let's see. The obit had been written, so then we got that one. Then I got a column on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4. I think I wrote 4 columns, fresh stuff, and I did have to go to the doctor and have some stitches put in my tongue. I'll tell you.
Well, you know what you had? You had a topic.
Yes, we did. But, hey, I got a question for you two guys.
Here I am.
And you're probably technologically a little better than me.
Well, let's find out.
What's all this cloud stuff?
What do you
What's
mean?
the cloud?
I don't know the cloud.
It's going to be in the cloud.
It's a saving device for all of your files.
Do I have to
Do Lieutenant Dan.
do I have to tell the cloud
What do I have to do?
Do I have to tell the cloud I want it saved, or are they
depends.
saving it automatically?
Whatever device you happen to be using, it can save stuff automatically, which in the case of you being a writer, both of you, would be actually pretty
Yeah, but
helpful.
then what would I do? I believe that at one time somebody attempted to give me a cloud password. Mm-hmm. No bleeping idea what that might be.
Okay.
I just don't want that cloud keeping like my credit cards and all that crap
No, it'll
in there.
only save stuff that you provide for it.
So that I have to aim it to the cloud.
There you go.
I have to tell
hold it
the
up to the sky.
I don't get it. And people say, well, maybe, you lost a column. It might be in the cloud. I said, yeah, I don't get it.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
This would be about maybe a month or two ago. And a guy that we know was writing a column.
Yes.
And his computer completely crashed on
Okay.
him. He was in a complete panic. So what he decided to do was bring the laptop here.
Okay.
And have a member of the IT staff fix everything for him.
It was
get
Jim,
everything
right?
back up and running. Devout listener of Garage Logic for 25 years. Joe looked at him and he said, "Jim, thanks for all your help."
Was that Rich
And he
perchance?
said, "My name
Was
is
Rich. It was Rich.
My guy Rich?
Rich knew I was kidding. Rich knew I was kidding. For $1 million. Come on.
Who's Sue Cook?
Was it in the cloud? Is that where they found it?
No, but that's
Rich is a magic man. I don't know how he
I know,
found it.
Rich
Rich
is
had
great.
then suggested that maybe Joe should use the cloud.
Nah,
And
don't,
I
don't
said-
use
I
the
have
cloud.
no idea what
I
that is.
said, "Jim, there's no chance that Joe
I ain't
knows what
using
the
no
cloud
cloud.
is." Thanks
I
a
ain't
lot,
using no
Jim.
cloud. Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure I want the cloud keeping track of all my stuff either. You know? I don't want it in there. How do I tell the cloud
How
to
do I
leave-
get it out?
How do I tell the cloud to leave me to bleep alone?
Hey, cloud, don't bleep yourself.
Hey, cloud.
I don't everybody the cloud people. I don't get it. I don't know what the cloud is, but I don't want it. I don't want the cloud.
Pat, I just wish you could have been here when Joe said, "Thanks for all the help, Jim." He kind of put that down and
See, you should have stolen Riley's deal. Tiger
Yeah,
meet
Tiger.
Ace.
Oh, yeah.
Tiger meet Ace.
Yep. Thanks, Ace.
Yeah, Ace. Ace never insulted anybody. Ace is a good Tiger. Those are both good.
That's fine.
Tiger meet Ace. That's true.
Yep.
Or you could have given him a lousy nickname, like said, "Hey, Mr. Shirts, thank you," or
Yeah.
some damn thing. And Jay Ewald from the paper was the only guy to have two nicknames. He was a copy editor at the paper. He had bad shirts, so he was Mr. Shirts, and then he was also a Bears fan, so once in a while he'd wear a Bears jersey. And so he was George Hallis Jr. and Mr. Shirts.
Did you
Did you ever have a nickname?
I was just going to ask.
No,
Neither did
he
I,
knew-
Pat.
No,
Neither did
I
I.
think if he knew for sure what your name was, I don't
Yeah.
think he needed one. I've told the story again. I'll have to tell it again. Foster. Jim Foster was his right-hand man for like 5 years, 6 years. One day he became Anderson.
Yeah.
For the next 4 years, he was Anderson. And then one day Sid's yelling at him, "Hey, Anderson, you idiot," or something. He says, "It wasn't me. It was that Foster guy." And Sid got this blank look on his face. Like he had to go say, "What's that guy's name?" You know, he'd been there 10 years.
Well, you said last week, though, Joe, that your first encounter was "Hey, horse's ass."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
but he didn't keep
that
that. up.
nickname
Oh, okay.
didn't stick.
That didn't
That
stick.
was just a general.
That was just, who the hell is this kid?
Welcome to the team.
Oh God!
I like the one though about the Iron Horse.
What?
Didn't
What's
he-
that one?
Well, he had was it a gal that would always call in sick?
No, Cal Ripken Jr.
No. But
No,
Sid had it. I thought.
No,
Sid,
he didn't call her the Iron Horse. He called her Cal Ripken
oh,
Jr.
okay.
Yeah, Linda Gurley. Linda
right.
had an attendance problem, and she's one on the support staff, and she had complications in her life. Nice kid. She sat next to me, but she was, he was walking by, hit the brakes like you do in one of those Bugs Bunny chase, things, and said, "Hey, Cal Ripken Jr., nice you could make it." Yeah. Oh God. That's anyway. I think she's over though, right? We can get on with our lives here as long as they might last. As long as they might go on.
Yeah.
The best story, because it just captures Sid's entire life, was the Rose story covering the baseball game in Chicago.
Oh yes, right.
That captures
I
exactly what you were
repeated
dealing
what-
with.
Brant Allier, we've gotten rid of Bob Allison. We've phased out Bob Allison, who was kind of part-time player, but the new left fielder, Brant Allier, who Ayala, he called him, or something like Ayala or something, makes his Twins debut in Comiskey Park in April of 1970, John's first official game as the beat writer. He hits 2 home runs, goes 4 for 4, drives in 7 runs, and Sid tells him, "I'm going to write about that Ayala guy. Yeah, that's my angle."
Yeah.
And John protested, and they ended up screaming obscenities at each other in the press box.
What's the beat writer supposed to do?
Yes,
Not write about it?
Ignore the fact that your new left fielder, who you've been writing about all spring, debuted with 7 RBIs.
Isn't that something?
He was a great character, too.
Who?
Brant Allier.
Oh yeah.
I got the.
I don't know that name at all because you mentioned it last week.
He was
And I
only there
never
a
heard of
couple
him.
times.
I don't think he lasted a long time, did
Oh,
he?
no, he didn't. But I think, we had a very wet spring. One year, 70, 71, 70. I don't know. I think he was here 3 years maybe. And they left field, it was clay at Met Stadium, and it used to hold water like crazy. So for opening day, they put a big pad of like early AstroTurf or something, just basically a big pad in left field for the outfielder to stand on if he so chose, because it was wet out there. Brant never moved from that thing for like a month. Just no hitter could get him to move. He just stood on that little mat for the whole month. Fielding was not his strength.
No.
He's the guy, the famous Mayo Smith story, 1971, I think, when Mayo Smith's managing the Tigers, and his pitcher, Earl Wilson, is a pretty damn good pitcher for them. And strike 3 to the Twins, to Earl, strike 3 is in the dirt, and the catcher, Paul Ratliff, rolls it out to the mound without tagging him or anything. So they start yelling at Earl to run, and he runs to first, and the Twins are still running off the field. He runs to second, the Twins are still running off the field. Now there's no Twins hardly around, and now he's hauling it, and he gets to third, and he rounds the bases, and he pulls a hammy. He ended up not pitching the rest of the year, I don't think, or missed a couple of weeks or something, and he's laying there 20 feet. So Mayo Smith comes in, they go over and tag him out. And Mayo Smith is in the Twins room afterwards drinking, and he was goofier than hell. And he's running around the tables like he's Earl running around the bases. But I remember he said he wasn't satisfied with a triple. He wanted an inside the park home run. And if that bleeping Allier had been hustling from left field, he would have made it. But he was basically walking in. So by the time Earl pulled his hamstring, he could walk over and tag him. Instead of that bleeping Allier had been hustling. Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to have recorded all of those wonderful conversations in the Twins room over the years?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I still, once in a while, love to go back and look at the Dick Cullum Great Tomato Contest columns. Because, Dick was mostly an analyst. He'd say the Gopher, what was going to happen in a Gopher football game in vague terms. And he was, boxing. He wrote a lot of boxing. Joe knows him. He's a great guy. Yep. But he was, by the time you came, he had to be 80, didn't he?
That's the column I replaced, was Dick Cullum.
Dick Cullum. And then, but didn't they still have him being like an emeritus
guy?
Yeah. I mean, he'd still write like one or two.
Yeah.
I remember carrying his typewriter with him when they sent him on the road to do Twins when he was, so that had to be 74 or later. And, but Dick would have started this thing in the 60s, the Great Tomato Contest, where all the Twins people, Billy Martin was a coach then, and the Robertson brothers, and they'd all try to grow the best tomato. Okay. In August, he would write his annual. They'd have the judging downstairs in the press room, and like the famous story is Billy Martin's contender one year was a can of stewed tomatoes, but with a big bottle of expensive bourbon, behind it, and it was all about. He had 7 categories, and one of them was bribery.
Right.
And they were a sex appeal and stuff, and it was just. I mean, it was so inside because it was all like Twins characters and stuff like that. But they're pretty funny.
Earl Weaver did the same thing in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, Earl loved it.
He had the tomato contest.
Yeah, Earl loved it. Earl was like very proud of his growth of tomatoes. I think, he retired to Miami and basically became a gardener. He loved growing stuff. Sit out there and drink whiskey and
Right. Grow stuff.
have this mellow life and.
You're here for
grow
one
stuff.
reason, to bleep us.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And don't think I won't. I'm going to write her a letter to the league office. You go ahead, Earl.
Well, the best-
and don't think I
the
won't.
best line-
Right out of Laurel and Hardy.
Pat, help me. Who was the umpire?
That was Bill Haller.
Bill
that day.
Haller. But the
Yeah.
best encounter was him telling Haller, the expletive written thing, and Haller, I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. And Haller says, for what? For bleeping up a World Series?
Bleeping up the World Series,
Yeah,
meaning more than one. But Luciano's the guy Luciano was a big guy. He was sort of the Joe West of that era, just a redneck and liked it. And he and Luciano would like throw him out in the first inning every time he barred. I mean, and he'd call Luciano every name in the world. I don't know how many times Earl got ejected, but Luciano had to be a third of them. They just hated each other.
I don't think Rocco was ever going to make a highlight reel like that with an umpire.
No, he's gotten a couple, all right. They've got
That's
him.
true. He got
They've gotten
thrown
him
out.
3 or 4. He's
Yeah.
going to beat TK's record pretty soon. TK had 5, and
Is that all he had?
he had 5 ejections from September of '86 until through 2001. I think he got thrown out 5 times.
Wow.
He just didn't think it was worth it.
Well, Gardy might have beat him in the first year.
Oh yeah, just Gardy's big thing was when he issued warnings. Remember?
Yeah.
I bet he got thrown out 12 times over warnings when his guy didn't get a chance to retaliate yet.
Yeah.
He would get very upset.
The Twins Almanac guy had a photo of montage. It must have been Gardy's birthday recently or something like that. So he had 4 photos in one tweet of Gardy getting ejected.
Yeah.
3 of them, Angel Hernandez was in the
really?
background. Yes.
Oh, the guy he really hated though was that had a
Hirschbeck?
terrible Hunter Wenzelstedt.
Wendelstedt, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I remember Coxie, Bobby Cox, who leads the world of all times, because complaining from the dugout about pitches, basically, is how he always got thrown out. But Coxie was in here once with the Braves. I think the Braves he was still managing once, I think.
When they came back.
When they came here once. And Gardy had just got thrown. Oh, he'd gotten into it with Hunter Wendelstedt. No, Gardy'd gotten into it with Hunter Wendelstedt. And, his old man Harry was like a legendary umpire who ran the umpiring schools and stuff. And we were talking to Coxie about the trouble that he's had with Hunter Wendelstedt. And he says, yeah, he threw me out once when I told him he didn't make a good pimple on his old man's ass.
Yeah, you get thrown out for that.
One
You
too
get
well.
out for that.
Oh man, it's it was. But Earl was the greatest man.
No game tonight. They're taking regular days off.
This is the only one of all the series. I kind of like the way they cruise through the other playoffs, and I think when they go back to having it on locations, they're probably not going to be able to have no travel. They're going to have to. If they're going to add a round to the playoffs, though, for everybody, they gotta hurry them up, man. They can't have as many off days.
Will they do the first round at one site, do you think, if like they did this year?
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah.
If they go to the best of 3, I bet they play it at the lowest seed or the highest seed will get the.
So that way next year we can get swept by the Whiteys in 3 games or something like that.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
Well, that could happen.
This country can't take another summer like the one we just had.
No, we gotta get this straightened out here.
Yeah.
Especially because we knew we were going to pay for our sins because they've been so gorgeous for 6 months, and now you look at the long range forecast. What, it might get to 50 or something.
55 on Saturday, baby.
Oh well, the golf course is all closed, I suppose. Huh?
I don't think so. The flags are still in a lot of courses.
Really?
I don't think they have the guts to do it because people were deprived so suddenly that they're betting that they'll get one more weekend out of it. That's my theory.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. We got a couple of issues at home that apparently are a crisis. See, our Christmas trees are these electronic things, right? That you light on the back porch, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, last year, now I don't do that, but I encourage the guy that comes over and helps.
Well, you used to have a guy. Was it Holiday Lights Made Easy?
Yeah,
Wasn't that your guy?
that was. They dropped me as an ad because I would give the neighbors. I never put a Christmas tree light up in my life, and then for about 5 years, I had these guys, and I used to go around and, hey, when are you going to get some lights up here? Let's have a little Christmas go. And yeah, but we got these Christmas trees. You just plug them in, but you got to attach them to tape them down to the porch or something. And last year we waited. Last year we waited too long, and the porch was snow covered. We couldn't get the ice and everything. We couldn't get it off. So
it was there till March.
No, the lights never got on. The lights never got on.
Okay.
So it was very.
So what is the crisis?
That
You said you have a crisis.
Once again, the trees aren't going to get, the electronic trees are not going to get put up.
Oh,
Because
you
once
can do it
again,
this
we got-
weekend. Oh,
Yeah,
you'll be
but-
fine.
Well, I can't do it. It's got to be on a Thursday when my guy Vasily's over at the house. That's every other Thursday Vasily comes, and that's what it's got to be every other Thursday that we can get him there.
What does Vasily do?
Vasily and his bride clean the place.
Oh, you got to get him to do it.
But
yeah.
but then he does stuff that, while we should make it a little less of a cleaning and a little more of doing couple of things around the house.
Is he the guy with the hatchet? Is this the same guy?
No,
that's a neighbor
That's my
that's got the
former
hatchet.
neighbor,
Oh, okay.
Chris, who's gone now.
Oh, that's right. He moved.
You're
on.
hatchetless now. You got nobody.
I don't. That was a blunt hatchet, man. That was not a good hatchet. Boy, but the other problem I got is that the big tree in the front's still got 2/3 of its leaves.
Yeah.
It's this thing did sneak up on us this lousy weather, didn't it?
I got everything outside. It still has to be put away.
Well, the pool furnishings are all weather, so they don't have to take off the covers. And I've been pretty damn good though. I put the hoses away 2 days ago.
I haven't even done that.
Myself.
You
By
did it
yourself?
all alone.
Did you drain the water out of them?
Yeah, pretty much. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't squeegee them like a guy. I didn't but I
you don't
held them
squeegee
up
'em.
and let the water run out. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
that's all right. Yeah.
That's I did. I did.
Squeegee him.
Yeah. I'm hoping Wednesday I get the word that I can get rid of this damn boot I'm wearing. and I
Oh,
can
really?
finally get outside and do something and get these things put away.
How was the? Did you got the pain or not?
No pain.
No, not even from the get go, or
Oh, from the get-go, it was
Yeah.
terrible, but that's gone.
okay. Well,
I mean, the day it happened was just
So do you
had
end
to
up
crawl.
Do you end up reselling the boot then on a black market, or do you
I
hang
got
on
it.
to that?
If you find that out, if you can get rid of the boot somewhere, let me know. I got one.
Well, I was
too.
going to say, if you got a right and a left, now you got a pair between the two of you.
I can't wear two of them. I got news for you.
I don't. I think these boots pretty much fit either foot, don't they?
Oh, they do.
I'm not
That's
sure.
a good question.
I
They
don't
probably
know.
do. They probably do.
I think I had a broken one back when I was a kid, but you didn't have any of this. You didn't have any fancy boots in. They just threw a bunch of plaster
I think
on
you
it.
should let Kenny and I write your Craigslist ad, Joe, for your, wanted right foot boot.
Yeah, I need another boot. Just to balance myself.
What else is going on? How far are we away from the going to the polls if you haven't voted already like I have?
It's a week from tomorrow.
Week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow. Wow.
I'm voting in
man.
person. I'm voting in person.
You're, that's good for
With
you.
your boot or without?
I'm hoping it's no boot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, as many people voted already, the line shouldn't be too long in person this year, right?
They say these kinds of wounds, which was superficial at best. It's not. This wasn't Joe Theismann with a bone sticking out of his leg.
No.
But they say, okay, that's 4 to 6 weeks. Well, I want to be a 4-week guy. It was 4 weeks yesterday. Let me be a 4-week guy.
Has it already been 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's a month yesterday.
Wow.
But unlike Mrs. Ricey, you don't have a dedicated caregiver.
I don't.
No. I mean, she's got other issues, right?
Absolutely.
She got other people to take care of.
Yeah.
Mrs. Ricey had her own dedicated caregiver.
Right, you were a nurse.
Yeah, and
You were an orderly.
Only about twice a week would you hear. Now what the hell do you want?
Well, Pat, I don't know if you know this, but earlier today, though, she's been chiming in on GL the last couple of days with some thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's going to drive me back to the station real quick.
Has the missus voted?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably 3 or 4 times.
In fact, she probably sent in your ballot, too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Today she came down and said, "You're not going to cancel my vote."
She ordered you not to.
Yeah.
She ordered you to find a libertarian or something.
I got to find something.
Do we have a libertarian?
No, I have no idea.
I don't know.
There's been no mention of an independent.
These two guys have gotten so much attention that the third candidates have not hardly been mentioned this year.
That's right.
See where our guy Jason has a bad hernia?
Jason Lewis had to go to the
surgery.
hospital for a hernia operation.
Ooh, well,
I think you recover from those pretty quick.
I don't know. I've known some people who experienced them and didn't like them. I know that. I get a little painful. I
Can't
guess.
imagine that's desirable.
That whole area in there is
Yeah.
kind of.
That's kind of your swimsuit area.
It's complicated. It's a complicated
Right, it is.
area.
Yeah.
That's talk about dynamic races.
Well,
Tina doesn't exactly light up the room, and
no.
this other guy's a raving egomaniac.
She
so.
did, however, on Twitter today offer up her thoughts and prayers for Jason Lewis and his family. For his
Well, that was
speedy
kind
recovery.
of her.
Very kind of her, yes.
And he probably sent a message back, go bleep yourself. You're ruining America.
We had our man Kendall Qualls on today, Pat. What a great guy.
Who's he?
Do you vote in District 3?
No, I get to vote for Omar.
Ilhan? Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to vote for Lacey Johnson then, aren't you?
Hell no.
Oh, all
I
right.
told you.
Here we go.
Omar has the number one quality I'm looking for. Trump hates her. The number one quality I'm looking for is if Trump hates you, I'm voting for you. All the rest of it. All the rest of it that really gets overlooked by me and the other thing. So
Wait, we got a sounder for that, I believe, in here somewhere.
Oh my, that's a scalding hot sports
that
take.
is a scalding spot. So what do you think? I think we're running out of steam here. don't
I'm
you?
going to the bank.
Oh, hey, I had to go to the bank today.
That's what I'm saying. I
Because
got to go to the
I had
bank.
a check that I wrote out for a substantial sum in the middle of the month that still had not cleared. I don't know what I did with it, but I had to go cancel it so I could pay off the because this covered the wife's hearing aid, so it wasn't it was an expensive check. So, but I think I succeeded in both paying it off the bill and killing the check that's floating around out there.
Have the hearing aids done the trick?
When she wears them, yes. I don't think we're getting them enough bang for our buck so far, though. I'm hoping that maybe we start using them more often because, sitting in that little box doesn't really help much. So
No.
I don't know. But do you think I'm going to mention that?
No, I don't think
I
that's
got
a good
enough.
idea.
I got enough problems.
You got enough problems.
I do. All right.
There's a lot.
All right, boys.
There's a lot of this.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, right? Huh? Well, as the boys at Starkey say, Sid, you're putting us out of business.
Yeah.
Sid would give the big glowing recommendation to Starkey on the TV show, and his next comment would be, huh?
Huh?
That's what it should say on his headstone. Huh?
Huh? Question mark.
Yes. All right.
All right, boys.
Bye. See you. If you have questions about your retirement savings, do what I did and work with a person that knows what the heck is going on. Work with Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk. My guy Josh will give you straight talk and not sugar-coated advice. Learn how you can benefit from Josh's focused approach by setting up your own no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation to review your investments. Call Josh now, 952-925-5608.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. It's crazy to think that a few weeks ago we were talking about whether or not Tua Tagovailoa should consider retiring. After 2 concussions and worldwide debates on player safety and NFL culpability, Tua has done nothing but go back to work and currently has the Dolphins riding a 3-game win streak and 1 loss behind the division favorite Buffalo Bills. While everyone was yapping about the end of his career, Tua Tagovailoa said he'll decide when it's time. And clearly, he's not ready to hang up the cleats. Hi, this is Chris Howard from the Plugged In with Chris Howard podcast. BetOnline.net is your number one source for betting football and the start of the new basketball season. Find all the latest player developments, team matchups, news, podcasts, and in-depth analysis on every game. BetOnline remains your continued source for all your sports wagering information with live betting, up-to-the-minute scores for the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite games and events, including the MLB playoffs, the start of the NHL season, MMA, boxing, and golf. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Good news, you started a company. Now you have to run it. When you look out into the sea of CRMs, it can look extremely blue. But HubSpot is here to give your company a more human approach. We're a CRM that's easy to use, aligns all your teams seamlessly, and delivers a better experience for your customers. So your business feels like a helpful partner and not just some company trying to force a sale. There's a better way to help grow your business by connecting your people, your customers, and your business. HubSpot. Grow better.